TNTM the show presents Comicast 278 with your host Pablo Gunner, and I'm here to talk nerdy to you. Talk nerdy to you. About this week's comics. Didn't even check to see what date it was. Today's the 24th. I don't know. Let me see. It is the comics of the 22nd, though that's the date. 22nd. Same as last month. This should be easy. But I'm a dullard. So it's not. So yeah, I'm going to be reviewing the comics of March 22nd, and I have my own grade scale. By Skim Pass. And then there's variations. There's the strong and the weak. And then our best book of the week is the Bebow, a.k.a. Bebow. Back and Bag of the Week. Best book of the week. That's what it is. And we also throw other terms out there like Bebow, contender, runner-up. Obviously Bebow, and then there's a runner-up. And then, of course, there's also the contenders. Like, we'll say, hey, this is a contender for Back and Bag of the Week, So, yeah. And when we review these books, since I'm by myself, it's only going to be a minute. And this is going to be the theme song for this week. I don't think I used this one last week. So when that goes off, it's time for me to shut up and give my grade. And yeah. And if you know what it is, tell me what it is, and I'll give you a free digital comic. I think that's it. Spoiler alert? Did I say that? I'm reviewing these books, so there's going to be some spoilers. You're going to get the most spoilers when I say the Bebow. I might announce the Bebow throughout the week and then not announce a Bebow at the end at all. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. So, yeah, like I said, a minute if it's by myself. I don't think I'm missing anything. I will turn on the lights, though, so that you can see me in here. And maybe I'll do some talking nerdy at the end, towards the end. All right? So I'm going to get started with some Iron Fist. Yeah, Iron Fist. Number 1. This is $3.99. Ed Brisson is the writer. Mike Perkins, artist. Andy Troy as color artist. And the art is really gritty. It's dark and it's gritty and it's really cool. This blonde-haired dude shows up and he's like, I want to be in this fight. And he's like, all right, who you want to fight? And he's like, all of them at once. I don't know if he fights them all at once. And he beats them up and he's like, now I don't have any fighters. And he's like, whatever, I don't care, you got paid and stuff. But anyways, so yeah, he just keeps on going to these different fighting rings and beating them up. And he's like, I'm searching for something and I'm losing it. And I think he's losing his chi too. I don't think he's losing the ability to use the Power Fist. And then this monk shows up in this bar where he's hanging out. And he fights him, and he's like, wow, you're actually giving me a good fight. And he's like, well, if you go to this island, then you'll have an even better fight, and then you can get back in connection with yourself. So it looks, like I said, it's gritty. The art is cool. It's really done well. It gets brighter towards the end and at certain parts. But yeah, I'm digging it. It's interesting. It's not anything like what I expected, and this is cool. So I'm down. I'm down for it. So, this was a great number 1, and I give it a strong buy. In fact, I'll give it a contender even. Oh, and you know what? It does have a digital code, so I'm gonna give the digital code away, and I will continue to give some of the digital codes. I don't think I'm gonna give them all away, but some of them. Here's this one. Tell me what you think. You won't. F for Familia, C for Carlos, M for Marcos, C for Carlos, J for Juan, 5, K for Kill, T for Tomas, X for Javier, A for Alamos, I for Inca, 9. All right. There you go. I'm going to stick that there. On to the next book. It is Batman TMNT Adventures number 5, which is also $3.99. I thought I got the last issue, but I felt a little lost reading this one. Anyways, it's written by Matthew K. Manning, artist John Somariva, inker Sean Parsons, colorist Leonardo Ito. So yeah, like I said, I was a little bit lost. But this one, I think maybe part of it is because it starts 4 weeks ago in Gotham City, and it shows how Mad Hatter was building this tech and doing this, and he was doing it inside of Arkham. And then they get to like what his master plan is. But last I remember, they were dealing with Scarecrow, and he hadn't been dealt with. Oh wait, yeah, he had. Never mind, I'm wrong. I spaced that out. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. It happens. I'm a human. I'm just an average Joe, normal dude. Robin and Mikey team up, and Mikey makes his own superhero outfit, and Robin's just annoyed with him. But they go into the Bat universe, and that's really cool because that art is spot on too. Most of this does take place it takes place in both in this one. It's really cool, and I really like. It's just perfect, man. Like, yeah, the characterizations are perfect. They're on point. Visuals are perfect on point. Like, when they're in the Batverse, they looked more accurate to the Batverse. When they're in the TMNT verse, they look more like that. The characterizations are really well done. Everything happens. I thought it was going to be over, but it doesn't appear that way because it says next month. So, yeah, it's really cool, and it's really awesome. I really like it a lot. So I give this one a strong buy. And to be honest, it deserves to be a contender as well. Next, it's Star Wars Darth Maul number 2. Unfortunately, John Giano JD, I don't know why I can't say his name right, couldn't be here. He had an emergency. So it's a good thing that I actually got this in my box this week because I wasn't planning on getting this, but I had already ordered it. I was just planning on him reviewing it for you all because I didn't really want to. And here's the number one reason why Cullen Bunn is the writer. Luke Ross is the artist. He's all right. He does a lot better in this issue. Nolan Woodard as colors. But this one actually improves a lot. This one has Darth Maul, and he shows up into the, he's on Nar Shaddaa, and he shows up in this bar, and he's looking for information, and someone thinks he's a Jedi, so he gets pissed off, and he fights him, he attacks him. Then this whole bar attacks him, and it's really cool because, like, they beat him up, because he's, like, he can't use his powers. He doesn't want to use his powers. He doesn't want to use his powers or his lightsaber to reveal himself. So he gets beat up, and then some people that you'll notice from the animated Clone Wars series show up, which is Cad Bane and gosh, what is Aura Singh, I think? Yeah, Aura Singh, and then Vordello? I don't know who that is, some little monster. And then they get this information because they're looking where they're auctioning off this Padawan, and there is some stuff where they show some past of his a little bit, which felt pretty irrelevant. Yeah. It definitely got more interesting, and I want to see what happens. But I kind of don't. I don't know. I'm going to give props to Cullen Bunn on this one because he made it interesting, and the artist Luke Ross actually knocked it out pretty well as well. So you got me interested for the next issue. So props to you, Cullen Bunn. There was some stuff. There was some of I could still tell that it was his writing, though, because he did put some like stuff that you either already knew or that didn't need to be told, which he does a lot of. It doesn't need to be retold and doesn't need to be told, period. But it's one of those things, though, too, that made me realize, like, I want to know the origins of Darth Maul, like the legit origins, like how he became a Sith apprentice, and like how he got his lightsaber and why he has a double blade because nobody else does. And I don't know if we're gonna get that in this. I don't think we're going to. We'll see. But what am I going to give it? I am going to give it... it's definitely in the buy region, but is it a buy or a strong buy, and is it a contender? I am going to say that it is a strong buy, not quite a contender. And you know what? I'll go ahead and let you have the digital code for this one as well. Z for Zarbon, B for Bones, V for Vegeta, B for Bones, M for Mankey, 9, H for Hector, J for Jones, 2, H for Hector, 3, and A for Alvin. Next, it is on to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 68. This is $3.99. Story Kevin Eastman, Bobby Curnow, and Tom Waltz. Script Tom Waltz. Artist Mateus Santaluoco. Colors Ronta Pattison. And this one I really liked how it started. Leo is leading them in practicing different forms of martial arts. And then there is a distraction. And then Hob comes in and is like, hey, I'm just here to talk. And they're like, why you beat up? And he's like, that's what I'm here to talk about. And so they're like, oh yeah, so you guys have had problems with them too. Then it shows the mutanimals, the ones that got captured, and what's going on with them. And that's some interesting stuff. That's some good stuff. You figure some things out about Stingray that you didn't know about that was really cool. Stingray is just really awesome. I really like Stingray. All the characters really are really cool. And you see how that happens, but unfortunately it looks like they're in a tight spot themselves, so they are not fit to go be the rescue team yet. So we'll see what happens next. This one was really interesting, really well done. I mean, characterization all was spot on. In fact, there's some character development that was really interesting and really cool. In fact, there were some parts where I'm pretty terrified as to what's going to happen to Seymour. We'll see. So this one, you got to know me. If you know me, you already know what this is. It's a strong bite contender. Next, Hulk, number 4. Writer Mariko Tamaki, artist Nico Leon, color artist Matt Mia. And so this one, I skimmed it. I skimmed it because I wasn't sure. I wanted to see if she would Hulk out in this one. I didn't see that she Hulked out in this one, so that's going to be, revelation right away. And I noticed that it's an issue that's about Maisie Brune. That's this about her past and how it came to be and everything, and all about her and stuff like that. Now, it is narrated by Jennifer Walters, and it does have some stuff about her. But it is, and then it does get to current time as well, and she confronts her, and then there is something that comes out that I think will finally force Jennifer Walters into becoming Hulk. But we probably will not see that until the next issue. I feel like it's pretty much confirmed that she will be Hulk in next issue, considering the way this one ends. I don't think she could stop herself from becoming Hulk in the next issue, or from what could happen in this. So I'll go ahead and give this one away as well. It's a strong buy. It's a strong buy, despite the fact that she doesn't Hulk out in this one. It was just really well done, and it was really interesting, and it's great. So here's digital code: F for Frank, Z for Zillow, M for Monk, P for Pietro, X for X-Men, M for Monk, C for Cam, P for Pietro, 2733. Alright, next it's Batman Beyond number 6. It's $2.99. And it is written by Dan Jurgens, arted by Bernard Chang, colored by Marcelo Maiolo. And gee golly willikers, does this book look fantastic. Bruce is back, and old man Bruce. And he is not up and running, but he's getting around. I really like how they still have the brother in like somewhat Robin colors, and he talks to old man Bruce, and stuff, and that's really cool. And Terry, he takes Dana back, and she's just like, "Why are you so? I can't believe you did this and stuff." And he's like, "All right, fine. I'll make my life more of a priority." That's what I've learned over this time, and it's funny because Bruce is saying the exact opposite and stuff. And then this also connects to some stuff that's happening in the current Batman book, and that's really cool. Which they have this lady, and she is going to warn Batman, but she needs Barbara's help with the signal because some bad people are coming. And Terry decides at the worst time that he's going to focus more on his personal life than his bat life. Phenomenal book, really interesting, really good. I love how they're making it different, and it's really awesome. Always great, strong buy, and contender. You ought to know by now. You ought to know. If you're reading it, or if you've been listening to this, you ought to know. All right. Now it's on to Gamora, number 4, the Quattro. It's $3.99. Writers Nicole Perlman, artist Marco Cecchetto, color artist Andres Mosa. This one seems to always have jumps in between, so it's a little confusing to get back into, but you read the intro page, and stuff, and stuff starts slowly coming back to you. But at the same sense, it almost feels like it could be a standalone issue because it stands alone so well on its own. This one, so she discovered there is some more people that were exiled because they're criminals of her people, so they are alive. And then there's this rock that can power this ship that they're leaving, but it's missing a piece, so it won't work. Well, that piece is on the necklace of this princess that they just let escape, so she's going to go after her. And they're like, all right, go after her and kill her. And thing is, she's really wise, this girl, this princess or queen. What is it? I don't know. So, and it's interesting too, because they do a little of, there is some stuff about other people that aren't really pivotal characters, and this is a Gamora book, so I don't feel like it needs those characters focus on them, because it doesn't really matter. I wish the focus would stay more on Gamora than this random dude that she knows. So yeah, it's really interesting. It's really good. It's really awesome. It's really strong. It looks amazing. Like I said, a little bit confusing, but I don't know. It kind of, that the way that it's done, it almost could be read as a one-off. Of course, you want to keep on reading for the next issue the way that it's done. Because life and death hangs in the balance. So, yeah. Do I want to give this code away? I'm going to give this code away. Did I say it's a strong buy? I'm going to give it a strong buy, not contender. F for Familia, Z for Zorro, M for Marcos, 911, X for Javier, Y for Yucca, 9, F for Familia, 9, K for Kill. Kilo, right? Next, Teen Titans number 6. This is $2.99. And where is the info? I don't know, because they designed these books stupid. So it starts, and it is Robin, and he's just hanging out, or at least that's what it looks like, and then it turns out he's actually playing fetch with Goliath, and Beast Boy is there, and it turns out something is disappearing in the water near their tower. I like how, what's his name, Beast Boy makes some tofu, and everybody else is like, hey, Kid Flash, can you get us some real food? So he gets pizza of every kind. Awesome. And then the defenses get activated, and it turns out that Beast Boy forgot to tell them that there's a reporter coming by to give a tour. Then it introduces Aqualad, and oddly enough, he's in New Mexico, where we live. And it's funny because he's like, yeah, it's a desert here, and they're like, hey, stop doing that. Our people already think you're weird. And they made him gay. I don't mind. Whatever. So yeah, and so he leaves and he goes to San Fran to meet up with the Avengers, and I think it's going to happen at the perfect time because they're investigating the disappearances. Um, I would say that story and words are by Benjamin Percy, pencils are Koi Fayam, and inks Wade Van Grabaja, Jim Chalalempiris' colors. I will also say that there were some parts that were dumb to me. Like, for example, the reporter disappears right in front of Beast Boy's eyes, and it appears that he does nothing about it right away. It appears that way. I don't know. That part could have been done better. It just didn't It was like, hey, if she disappeared right in front of your eyes. Like, why wouldn't you go on a mission immediately? And so and then the story's broken. It cuts to Aqualad, so it seems like there was a break in time, but I don't think there was a break in time. It just seems that way. So yeah. But that's my little qualm with it. So that being said, I'm going to give it strong buy, not a contender. Sorry. And that means it's time for a commercial break. Time to talk about Gamers Anonymous, which actually they located in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They have 2 locations, one on the east side and one on the west side. And it's really cool because if you follow him on Facebook and you're part of the Facebook community group, you would know that John Sakura, the owner of Gamers Anonymous, or one of his employees, I don't know, they gave away a free digital code for, I think it was an Xbox, no, it was a full year of Xbox Live. Really made me go like, man, maybe I should put those posts on notifications so I could get that type of thing and get it myself. Because I don't have Xbox Live. I'm a super cheapo, so I don't have Xbox Live. So, maybe eventually when I have just funds, that I can blow money for nothing for stupid stuff, which I do think Xbox Live is stupid for the most part, because most of the games they give are dumb. But if you got it for free through Gamers Anonymous, well then, how can you beat free? And all you had to do was pay attention, is be, part of their world. So yeah, it's their great shop. They do giveaways like that every once in a while, for free games, as well, and they do a lot of cool stuff. They now have this new thing, where they have a package. It's like a mystery package of games. So it's only $10 and you get a mystery package of games. I don't know what different kinds of games, or if they're all new games or newer games. I don't know. I'm not sure. You gotta buy the mystery box to find out. As I said, I'm a cheapo, so... But it's still tempting. It's still tempting. And think about it. If you get the mystery box and you don't like some of those games, because you could always trade it back into them for credit. And they're not going to rip you off like some stores. Most stores. One in specific is the biggest ripoff. But anyways, we all know who that is. And that's why you should go to Gamers Anonymous, because they are a retro gaming shop, but they carry everything. Not just retro games. They do carry newer stuff. In fact, I think I'm probably going to buy Mass Effect Andromeda for the PS4 from them, just because why not? So, I already have Xbox. I got the deluxe edition from the BioWare website, so for the Xbone. And I'm going to be streaming, just so you know. I'm going to be Twitch streaming all week. Every week, at least an hour every night, Mountain Standard Time, probably from like 8 to 9, just so you know. And I'll keep people updated on the Facebook, our Facebook group, maybe even their Facebook group and their Facebook. So make sure you follow both, go to their stores. Like I said, they have 2, one on the east side, one on the west side. You can find all that info on their website, which they have, garetro.com. So make sure you check them out and follow them in every way that you can, so you can get free stuff from them and get involved and see movies, because they do Friday night movies. So that's always awesome too. So yeah, check them out. Back to books with some Ultimates. The Ultimates Squared. And it is number 5. This is $3.99. We have the same creative team. I believe Al Ewing is the writer, Travel Foreman as the artist, and Dan Brown, I want to say, as color artist. And so this one actually has a backstory for the troubleshooters, and specifically one of the troubleshooters, like the leader, I think. Um, but it also does like some weird, like their actual intro page is phenomenally well done. I love it. And so if you read that intro page, which you should, it goes into some of the weird stuff that is confusing in this. They're still fighting this battle against the troubleshooters, and it's going pretty well. It seems like the Ultimates are winning for the most part, and it's really awesome and it's really cool. And then they discover, hey, you wasted our time, and now there's something really bad coming, and oh yeah, it's here. So we're all screwed, and it's all your guys' fault because you guys stalled us. There's some really weird, confusing stuff in this book. I know it's not for everybody. It is for me because I love this artist and I love really weird, trippy stuff. So I'm gonna continue to get it, and yeah, so that's how that cookie crumbles, you know. So it is. I'm gonna give it a strong buy. Not quite a contender, like I said. It's still a little confusing, and you know. But if you want, you could tell me if you think it's confusing because I have a digital code here for you. 6, A for Alamos, C for Carlos, W for Huerita, V for Villanueva, another V for Villanueva, C for Carlos, K for Kilo, D for Diego, F for Familia, and J for Juan. Boom. Next, it is Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Number 17, $2.99. The cover actually spoils this book pretty well. And so, yeah, we have yellow lanterns, and they are being imprisoned. So you see them in prison, how some of them are in prison, and they're complaining about it. And then you see Guy in the hospital, and everything like that. But Guy he's still not happy, and he's not happy because he wants to recruit Arkillo, not just beat him. He wants to beat him in a different way, kind of make him submit to that. Then you have Kyle, and Kyle gets a new mission, and so they're like, you need to do it through the Blue Lantern Hope, and you see some crazy stuff going on, and something's going really, really bad, and I thought it was like he was gonna reawaken all the other lanterns, or start re-recruiting the other colors. But it looks like that is not the case. In fact, there's some really crazy stuff going on here. And like I said, the front cover is essentially the spoiler, and that's all I'm going to say. On that end, the writer is Robert Venditti, artist Ethan Van Sciver, colorist Jason Wright. And phenomenal book, has been this whole time, continues to be. It's a strong buy and easily a contender. Boom, there you go. Time to go on to the next one. It's Invincible Iron Man, number 5, the Cinco, right? And yeah, it is same creative team too. Brian Michael Bendis is the writer, Stefano Caselli is the artist, Marta Gracia as color artist. And this one, it actually has her mom. They live in Chicago, and she's like, "Hey, Riri, where are you?" And she's like, "Yeah, I don't know where you're at." She's like, this girl, she's gonna do whatever she wants. She's so smart. I don't know if I can control her, but I care, and I kind of don't want her to do this stuff, but she's gonna do it anyways. And then it gets to the currents, what's been going on with them setting up this trap virus in one of the old suits, the retro suit, my favorite suit, to defeat this girl. Techno Golem. So yeah, and yeah, it works. But the girl still comes after her, and it's really interesting because then she has a flashback to when her dad was trying to teach her fencing, but it doesn't say or explain whether or not she actually learned how to fight with a sword or not. So, and you really don't find out. And then the Shield shows up, and they're like, "Hey, we're to clean this up." And they're like, "We're gonna recruit you," and she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not joining your evil organization." She's like, "I don't think you're evil, but yeah, whatever." And then it seems like Tony's hologram is off doing something else on its own, which is pretty crazy. And I don't know if it's what it looks like exactly or what. Spoiler, well, it's kind of whatever. Whatever. People can figure it out on their own. It's really interesting. It's like an Ultron type situation. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's really good. It's really interesting. She still hasn't given herself a name or announced her name. And maybe that'll happen next. We'll see. I don't know. But this is a strong buy. And, yeah, that's all. Strong buy. It looks amazing and it's well done, but it was just kind of a little predictable, a little easy, you know. So I'm gonna save that digital code for somebody else, some special person. Next is the Flash, number 19. It's $2.99. Joshua Williamson is the writer. Jesus Merino and Carmine Di Giandomenico as colors. Andy Owens and Carmine Di Giandomenico. Inkers, Chris Sotomayor, colorist. Ah, man. This. So it starts off, and the Kid Flash, and Captain Boomerang, or is it just Boomerang? They've been captured, and they're captured by this person. And even Boomerang is like, "How come you can't get loose?" And he's like, "Oh, well, their equipment works at a different vibration frequency than I can get out of." Kind of felt like you suck, Flash. I kind of felt like you suck, Flash, but likely excuse, whatever whatever you got to make up. And then Boomerang is like, "Hey, well, you should try to kill Flash. So why don't you let him loose and just try to shoot him with this weapon, and then everyone will want to buy the weapon that killed Flash." And then they're like, "All right, well, we're gonna do target practice on Kid Flash too." And he's like, "Well, here's the thing about me and the difference between me and Flash. Well, when I try to vibrate, stuff blows up." And then so he gets loose. It's awesome. And then he starts using the boomerangs, and he's like, "Hey, this is pretty fun." So yeah, but then he discovers the truth about his dad. Yeah, it's crazy. It gets pretty crazy and really interesting. It's really cool. There is a change in art at that point. But it doesn't seem like too horribly noticeable. But just a tinge. So this is another one that I'm going to give it a strong buy, but not quite a contender. Because there's some stuff that was a little cheesy and dumb, and then as well as the artist change. It was noticeable, not bad, but noticeable. So next we have The Unworthy Thor, number 5. Jason Aaron is a writer, artist Olivier Coipel, Kim Jacinto, and Pascal Alix. Color artists Matt Lopes and J. David Ramos. And so they finally reveal this hooded character in this. They also finally reveal to you what Nick Fury the Unseen said to Thor to make him lose his worthiness. It's really weird though, because it seems like he probably could lift Mjolnir, but he doesn't because it's not his Mjolnir. And the person that reveals themselves actually to Thanos, who wanted them to go get this weapon, which Thanos is like, "Whatever, I don't care that you got it, I'm just pissed that you failed me." So now it's the type of thing that I think they're going to have another Thor show up, and he's going to wield Ultimate Mjolnir, which is kind of disappointing. I was really hoping this Thor would wield it, and now you're bringing in another Thor. I don't know. It just felt kind of anticlimactic to me because that's the way it happened, but it also wasn't what I expected, so I like that aspect of it. And Jason Aaron tends to do that a lot, which is He tends to do things that I don't expect, but I kind of don't like it because it makes it anticlimactic. And yet at the same time, because it's different, I enjoy it. So really makes it difficult for me to decide on what I should grade this. As well as it was really actually the thing that I disliked the most was how anticlimactic what the Unseen Nick Fury had told Thor to make him unworthy, and that really didn't make sense to me, and I didn't like it. I was like, really? That's it? That was weak. So it looks amazing. It's really interesting. Like I said, I can't give it a buy because it's definitely better than a buy. It's a strong buy, but I can't give it a contender. So you can have this one, folks. You can have this one. Here's a digital code: F for fan, C for Zorro, M for Mellow, Q for Quasar 2, H for Humpback, G for Guano, I for Amigo, 9, D for Donatello, B for Bones, and M for Mellow. Next, it's Batman Detective Comics number 953. This is $2.99. James Tynion the fourth is the writer. Christian Deuce and Fernando Blanco as artists. Alex Sinclair with Alan Pasalacqua as colors. And then, yeah. So let's get this party started. This one, I don't know. I'm getting really confusing with the Bat books because it seems like they're really going to territory where some things are considered canon and some things aren't considered canon. And so, like, things that I thought were canon are turning out not to be, and then certain things, I don't know, it's just weird. There was a nice moment with Cassandra and Clayface. That was really good. And there was another good part with Batman and Cassandra. That stuff seems to be really good, except it didn't make sense that she beat the crap out of Bruce when she's not really mad at Bruce. She's mad at somebody else, and that other somebody else shows up, but she doesn't. She pulls her punches with that person, and not with the other people. That didn't really make sense to me. So, yeah, I mean, it looks really good. Some parts better than others. I don't know. I'm conflicted about this book. It's I don't know if it's the art part or it's the writing part, but both feel like they're not as good as they used to be. So I can't give it a strong buy. There's no way. But I don't think it's bad enough to be a weak buy. So I'm going to give it a buy. Next, it's Spider-Gwen number 18. And it is Jason Latour as the writer, Rabiel Rodriguez as the artist, Rico Renzi as color artist. And so the intro page doesn't do much for you, but it does enough. And it's weird because there's Earth 8, a future, and there's the Spider Ham, but he's older, he's retired, and then this is also a future where Spider-Gwen and Miles are married, but there's like no crime, like they fixed all the problems, so it's just like, it's a utopia, and she's like, well, you used to be spider people, so why don't you help me? And he's like, no. And the kids of Miles and Gwen are like, okay, we'll help you. And that's when the big fight goes down. She shows up, and then all these other spider folks show up to help Miles and to help Gwen stop this evil version of Miles' dad who goes by Scorpion. And then they go like, it's just too much pressure, knowing that there is a future where we're together. It's too much pressure to continue a relationship. So let's just be friends. I feel like both of them end up on there, on that note, you know? So, it was nice. It was more than I expected to be. I didn't expect it to be like this huge event where other Spider people were going to show up. So that was really cool and that was really neat. I just love this art. It's fantastic. It's really great. It was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. You know, so... But, and I'm going to give it a strong buy. I'm going to give it a contender. But I'm not going to give the digital code away. I'll save it for somebody. Alrighty. Next, it's Spider-Man onto Superman Action Comics 976. This is $2.99. Dan Jurgens is the writer. Doug Mahnke has pencils. Jaime or Jamie Mendoza, Christian Alamy, and Trevor Scott on inks, and then Will Quintana on colors. And this picks up where it left off with this story arc, Superman Reborn Part 4, and it is so phenomenal. Mr. Mxyzptlk, as I pronounce it, he's being an a-hole, like he does, where he's like, oh, you played by my rules and you won? Well, you didn't read the fine print, so you're screwed. And so, essentially what's going on is Lois and Superman, Lois and Clark, they don't remember their son, and he's like, why don't you guys remember me? But somehow he conjures up the ability to restore their memories, but the battle is epic, and it's awesome, and Mxyzptlk is just phenomenal, and the way this whole story plays out is just brilliant and magnificent and wonderful. And, you know, it's this one, and this is the type of thing that I want from Batman, which is to clarify what is and what isn't canon, because they show you, they explain to you that the two timelines are aligned. They explain that, they say that. They don't do that in Batman. And I wish they would do something like that, and that's what makes this book so damn great, and I love it. It's a strong buy and a contender, by and large. Last book of the week, Inhumans vs. X-Men tie-in. Even though that event is over, this is the final thing. It's The Uncanny Inhumans number 20. Charles Soule's a writer. Ario Anindito as the artist. Java Tartaglia as color artist. And this continues. It starts with, most of it is actually about Maximus the Mad and how he's like, yeah, we're going to recreate Terrigen crystals with this new factory and stuff, and do it with all these Inhumans and stuff. And instead he ends up making a mech. And he makes a mech that has a Terrigen sword. Terrigen powered sword and stuff. And then he's like, hey, that's not my style. I'm not going to make Terrigen crystals to save the Inhumans. I'm Maximus the Mad, not Maximus the Mundane. So he just pisses everybody off. And then it goes to The Quiet Room, which that was a different artist. That's the epilogue. That's Kim Jacinto and Java Tartaglia do the art on that. And this is just Medusa, and she's talking to Black Bolt, and Black Bolt is like, you know, my powers are going to return soon, but I'll talk to you. We can have a wonderful talk until then. And they talk about what's been going on in the past. And this is to the future. I will say that my favorite part, though, was the last page where it was Charles Soule explaining that this is his last run and how much fun he's had, this great experience that he's had on his Inhumans run, and how Marvel came to him and was like, hey, we want you to make the Inhumans a big thing and make new characters and do stuff with them. And just his journey on that with all the artists and everything like that and different people he worked with. That was really great. So, you know, I will judge a book by all of its content, including that. And so I will give it a strong buy and a contender because of that. I mean, look, there's some art parts that kind of bugged me, but I feel like it totally makes up for it in other ways. So, I'll give the digital code away for this. Why not? F for Familia, C for Carlos, M for Marcos, 2, T for Tomas, K for Kilo, 9, Q for Quintana, E for Emilio, K for Kilo, 6, and V for Villanueva. Okay? Now it's time to announce my back and bag of the week. You know, I thought it was going to be easy. Honestly, I did. I really did think it was going to be easy. I thought I was going to announce it while I was reading. Iron Fist, really, really awesome. Batman TMNT, really, really great. Turtles, always phenomenal. I love me some Turtles. There's Hulk. Batman Beyond. We got Hal Jordan and Superman Action Comics here. But what does it come down to? Goodness, goodness, goodness. I'm going to give Iron Fist #1 my runner-up just because it was so phenomenal as a #1, and it's really interesting. It seems like a really different turn. And it seems almost like they're doing the Mortal Kombat thing, but with Iron Fist, and that gets me really jacked off for what's to come, because that's essentially what they say. That's essentially the kind of thing that happens. And I'm jacked off to see that type of thing. Phenomenal, sucked me in art, really gritty for this. It just, everything fit really well. Colors, you know, everything spot on. But I'm going to have to go with Action Comics #976 as my back and bag of the week, because I just love Mxyzptlk and the way that this story was done, because he's just so, the characterization is done so phenomenally well. And it's a little cheesy the way that it's concluded, because it's like, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's one of those things that it's like, this doesn't really make sense. But when it comes to magic and things of the spirit and the soul, you can't really explain that stuff by science. You can't really explain that stuff by logic. You can't really, you know, it's just one of those things. And that's what I have to say about that. You know, all those naysayers out there that are like, yeah, you know, whatever. Because it's like, there's just some things you can't explain through science, and that's just a fact. But like I said, more came down to that and the mashup when they showed this giant spread of what is considered canon and what has joined, the timelines that have joined, like what is canon, what isn't, like what is part of this universe now. That is so important, and I wish they would do that with Batman. They need to, because it's really confusing as to what is and what isn't canon, especially now that they're doing like the League of Shadows or the League of Assassins, and it's like, he's gone up against them before. Like, why is he acting like he hasn't? Especially in other books, his enemies act like they know him. So why would he not know who they are, yet they know who he is? When they said, oh, I lost to Superman or Batman before, and yet he doesn't know who Ra's al Ghul is. You know? Doesn't make sense. But anyways, yeah. Like I said, runner-up, Iron Fist #1, B-Bow, Action Comics 976. You probably won't tell me, but I'm going to tell you anyways. Tell me what your B-Bow is. Send us in questions. Email us, you know, or tweet us, or Instagram us. You know, whatever. Send us questions, you know. Send us comments. Send us feedback. We love it. We appreciate it. We want to make this show better for you, but we can't do that if you don't give us any ways to improve it. We try to come up with things to improve, to make it different. Speaking of, so I just did a thing with Tone Bone today, 3 a.m. reviews, and we did that where we reviewed Beauty and the Beast. We reviewed the Power Rangers movie. Yeah, and just BS'd about stuff. And then also where I'm trying to do a Power Rangers video. It's not turning out as well as I want, because I thought I wanted to do it with the whole crew. So far it's only been me and Tone Bone that are in the video. So I might have to just leave it at that. I'm not sure. So if I want to get it out ASAP, I'm going to have to do it just, you know, me mostly. And without the rest of the crew, unfortunately. But I'm going to announce right now, we will have a new member joining us. You can check out his personal YouTube. I think the name of it is The Awesome Sauce. And so check him out, follow him. He's going to be posting on our YouTube. He's also going to be posting on our website. And our Facebook too, so you can check his stuff out. He's really cool. He's a fellow Power Ranger fan, you know, and comic book fan and stuff like that. And, he also did a review. I think he did a review of Resident Evil 7, which we didn't do. I can't play scary games because, I have really intense, horrible nightmares, and my wife won't put up with me fighting and trying to kill people in my sleep. Doesn't make for a good night's rest. For her or me, probably. But anyways, we're hoping to do some stuff with VR Junkies in the future. Once my schedule changes back so it coincides with Tone Bones, the both of us are going to go do that. We're going to try to continue doing more 3AM reviews and stuff like that, as well as do videos for movies that are coming out. We intend to do a full-blown thing for Guardians. We hope to cosplay and go as Guardians and go to that premiere and give away comics. I know I said that for Logan, but Logan didn't work out because, well, for one, not that many of the crew showed up, and two, not enough people showed up to give away comics and ask trivia either. So actually, there was no line or anything like that. There was no wait, so it didn't work out. But we still made a video out of it, and that's what we'll do. We'll try to do as much as we can do with other movies. I think we're supposed to go see Ghost in the Shell in a couple weeks, me and Tonebone, or we might see it separate, or me and who else? I thought somebody else wanted to go see it as well. A buddy of mine, that's who it was. Which, I don't know, if I can get him into it, I'll do that too. But yeah, so that's it for now. Keep an eye out for, I'm going to continue trying to put out videos once a week on the YouTube from stuff I'm going to say. Sorry. I don't usually not cover my mouth. I usually sneeze into my sleeve, but as you can see, I don't have sleeves right now, so that's why I didn't sneeze into my sleeve. Anyways, as I said, you can find all our stuff at TNTM The Show. That's the website, all the social medias. Follow, get into our Facebook group and stuff like that. I'm going to be doing giveaways of these comics and stuff. So, yeah, that's it. Remember, keep your eyes hungry for comics. Stay nerdy. Talk nerdy to me, I'll talk nerdy to you. And that's it.